In this video, I'm going to show you how to change the range of intensity that is displayed on the image so you can better visualize your image. So let's open another image, which is it's an image that shows nuclei that were stained with DAPI. So as you can see in this image, you have one nucleus that is extremely bright, much brighter than the others, and it makes the others harder to see. And in dark region there might be other nuclei that you don't actually see because the range of intensity is not in a way that you can actually see differences between black levels, black shades. So how you can do that? There's a great tool in Fiji. If you go to Image, Adjust Brightness Contrast, and you get this small window that you can play with. So this represents a histogram of your image. You see you have the lowest intensity is 120 and the highest intensity is 4095. This is because it's encoded in 12 bits. So you have 4096 total levels, even though the minimum intensity is 120 in that case. So you can directly change the brightness or the contrast of your image. And this, it works more or less same way that what you would use in a photo editing software. But that's not what I would suggest to do, definitely, because you don't know exactly what you do when you play with brightness and contrast. So let's put it back the way it was at the beginning. And a better way to do is to actually adjust the maximum intensity that is displayed and the minimum intensity that is displayed. Something very important to know is when you change the range of intensity that is displayed, you don't change the image values. You just change the way you visualize your image, and that's very important. You are not removing any information when you do that. It's just to have a better visualization. Okay, so let's start with decreasing the maximum of intensity that is displayed. Now, if you the lower it is and the more brighter the nuclei look like. So now you see that this very bright nucleus is completely saturated, but you can better see the other nuclei, and you start to see things you didn't before. Like here it seems that there's a shadow. Let's keep going, and now you see that there actually is something there. You can do the same thing with the minimum, so you can increase your minimum, and so you have a range of intensity that is narrower and narrower. So let's just pause here and see what do we have. You have those two values, so it means that all the pixels for which the intensity is inferior to 425 are now black, and all the pixels for which the intensity is higher than 1301 are not white. Okay, so you have a narrow range of intensity, and so now you have more black pixel and more white pixel, of course. So the goal is to find a good balance, and in this case it's definitely gonna be it's too high, so you need to decrease this, and I guess this one is the best one, I think. Now for this, you need to find a good balance, a good trade-off, because you want to see everything, and if you're really interested in all the nuclei, you want to see those guys as well. So you need to have a high intensity that is not too high, so you can see it, but you see that you also saturate other nuclei, this one obviously, but even here you have quite some pixels here that are saturated. So it's really, it really depends what you want to do. If you're just interested in the location, you can even go lower. You don't care about the saturation, just want to see which where you have nuclei in the image, but that's certainly not the best way to visualize it, because you are losing some information. So you need to try to find something that when you do that, the most important is that you do that to help better interpret your images. So just keep that in mind.